Babaponu Ato West Ronani. We now have the welcome address by Togo And Benin, the chief of Hodome and the Papiaga of the Asogli State, to welcome us. Ministers of honorable members of parliament, members of party from our brothers and sisters of the Togo and Benin, Togo among the respected citizens of Asogli, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Diplomacy Academy of 14, President of the Asogli International Council, and the chiefs and people of Asogli, I have the singular honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the climax of our 2024 President Asogli Festival celebration. I'd like you to know that the Asogli State, as we call it, composed of home, appropriate somewhere in Catalan.
then Go also has 5 major divisions. That is Banque, Dome, Liha, Akwa, and Kebe. Each of these is headed by a chief, sub-chiefs, queens, asafofias, linguists, elders, and youth leaders. We are here today to celebrate Yam Festival. The celebration of Yam Festival, which is a period of jubilation after the laborious yam cultivation at the people of Asogli, originated from Oche in the Republic of Togo, where it is still celebrated. So every year, we go and celebrate with our brothers and sisters in Togo, and they also come to celebrate with us every year. Our brothers and sisters from Togo, we are welcome. We are glad to have you in our midst today. Distinguished evangelicals, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's celebration is Let and Show Freedom and Justice. Gabriel, Mama, ladies and gentlemen, our dear nation Ghana in recent times is grappling with the destruction of these lands and river bodies by a few individuals for their selfish interests. Let us bear in mind that the degraded land and polluted water bodies resulting from the activities of these galamsees is one of the greatest forms of injustice done to all of us. And it is sad to note that galamsey has started in the Black Volta, and River Afra. These are rivers which feed the Volta. So if care is not taken in the near future, the Volta River will also be polluted. And all the fish will be eliminated. And we may have to import water from other countries for our use. And therefore appealing the good people of the Volta region and the Oki region and their chiefs to resist any form of galamsey in their areas. I wish also to appeal to the chiefs of Asogli to use their good offices to resolve any chieftaincy disputes and land litigation cases in their various areas. I implore the chiefs and their elders to be honest, truthful, and very fair in their judgments. There are various cases in their traditional course of adjudication. With this done, we shall have peace, which will lead to the development of the state. Let me once again remind us all of the whole package. United we stand, divided. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an election year. We are just about 2 months to exercise our franchise to elect our leaders for the next 4 years. I wish to remind us all that we have only one country, that is called Ghana. Let us ensure that we have peace before, during, and after the election. And this can only be achieved if the agencies responsible for the election make sure you have free, fair, and transparent election. is a massive distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Agbogbofia, public affected the 14th, the chiefs and people of Asogli State, I heartily welcome you all to the Oxygen City of Ghana for this year's Asogli Yam Festival. I wish you all a pleasant, enjoyable, and memorable stay in home. Welcome. Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumani Bakbe, Banami 10,000 Ghana cedis. 100 million. I am Speaker of Parliament, Banami. That I may say make it here on another. Speaker of Parliament, Ghana, Right Honorable Alban Sumani Bakbe, has given us an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis. The donation table is still open, and you go there, and the necessary recordings will be done. After this short introduction, the Unity and Love for Baba Group will play some short music for us. We acknowledge the presence of Ekua Mensah, Madam Ekua Mensah, wife of Nana Ejim. We also acknowledge Mr. Fred Amafu from AGI. We acknowledge Honorable Isaac Kodobisa, former municipal chief executive for all municipal assembly. We acknowledge Nana Kwesi Bedu, Nana Kwesi Bobi, a second from Wasa Amenfi. We acknowledge Tobega Atela Atelasu, the paramount chief of Lome in Togo. We also acknowledge Tobe Pega Tegri III, the paramount chief of Gai Atiba, also from Togo. They led a very large delegation from Togo to this festival celebration since Wednesday. We acknowledge the presence of Mr. Richard Elvis Jereke, National Communication Officer for PNC. We acknowledge Mr. Oliver Kanasu, the Volta Regional Chairman PNC. We also acknowledge ASP Eric, the Regional Form Police Unit. We acknowledge the presence of Professor Charles Atombo,
representing the Vice Chancellor of the whole Technical University. We also acknowledge Mr. Togo And, representative of the Managing Director of the National Investment Bank. We also acknowledge Nana Yusuf Hussein Paninama, Nana Yusuf Hussein Paninama, Acting President, National Council of Zongo and Chief of Kintampo. We acknowledge Sariki Adamu Amani, Zamrama Chief. We acknowledge Sariki Sulemana Adio, Yoruba Chief. We acknowledge Sariki Ahmed Osman Banzam from the Volta Serene. We acknowledge Sariki Alhaji Mas Adam from Kando, Sariki Abdul Karim Abdullah Subura Atena. We acknowledge Sariki Ali Musa from Benin. We acknowledge Sariki Kafiru Ibrahim University from Kando. We also acknowledge Sariki Asa Musa Atena. So that is the second segment of the acknowledgement. As of the Indian lab of our group, we give a very short music to be followed by the Taga, followed by the Taga from Togo. Can we Indian lab of our group, we I have a short display from Nagara. And now, to Tonya, who are in your day, I said, a minute, you're talking about watching. That'll be from Tommy the book. We are live on Facebook, Asogli State, and then we see what is going on there. So as we go on, permit me to do another acknowledgement for some deeds we have just received from the GCB Bank PLC We had a donation of 20,000. For PURC and Dr. Ishmael Atta will have a donation of 5,000. Tobe Papu Jaga, the 11, Paramount Chief of Tobe Traditional Area, 1,000 cities. From BBLA, 10,000 Ghana cedis and assorted drinks. From Sunon Asogli Power, Ghana Limited, 20,000 Ghana cedis. From Mr. Mark Kamis, Aviance Ghana Limited, 10,000 Ghana cedis. Tobe Thomas Sabiti, the fifth, Bakba Traditional Area, 1,000 Ghana cedis. African World Airlines, 50,000 Ghana cedis. African World Airlines, 50,000 Ghana cedis. And as I have already announced, the Speaker of Parliament, Ghana's Speaker of Parliament, gave us 10,000 a while ago. We acknowledge the presence of the MD of Zenith Bank, the person of Honorable Henry Owen Shurugo, and he is being represented by Madam Florence Aja, the branch manager of the Zenith Bank in Ho here. We also acknowledge Dr. Kwame Mponsa Esiamwa, senior specialist at 37 Military Hospital, and some other friends of Tobe Apede who are all here. We continue the program and have fraternal messages. We continue to have fraternal messages. But before the fraternal message starts, permit me to also acknowledge the presence of Honorable Samuel Kofi Jamesi, a Chief Executive Officer of the Green Power Authority, who is representing His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and has also donated an amount of 8,000 Ghana cedis. Honorable, you are welcome and thank you for your donation. To Togo, Bob, Tobe, Adela, Akalasu, and Nelia, Ablo, now listen to a fraternal message from Tobe, Adela, Akalasu, who is the leader of the Ebe Chiefs from Togo. Tobe.
Il est le Togo du peuple, Ghana du corps demain. Et hier, il y avait le président, le président Ghana Akufo-Addo, de la CCCDA. Ainsi, et puis, il y a un peu pardon, et fiao, appelé du pont, voyao, you know, le Togo, ou encore, c'est un peu le Togo, il y a le vieux homme, il y a l'ambassadeur, Togo, c'est le Ghana, le fille. Tobigao, Mamao, Tokyo, Mamao, Media Bugu, Abu Shabanti, Level Open, Maybe Yanti.
Tobiga, Abakon, Yakan. Hey, we do it. As I pen. Harold. Tobiga, Mamao, Plan. You put up with woman. They never know. Talking about the identity. Nyama tu produit fait on est là si et si la viande allez hier dans du corps et me doit zale Togo le moitié on a bien tia nyoha nyama no wanti avec quoi et be fiaga be bientôt ce to bi apo de dia le iwe apapa de jonti le fieto le douille o jara nyibe e be fio le cas de Ghana, Togo and Benin, voir Tamaso, du problème de Ditia, et il y a Cardiné, il y a le Benin, et Dulce, et Bakafrica, et il y a Dio en Zaboko, le Asogli Yam, Azalo, appelez-moi.
Dynamique à passer pour les gars, l'économie a fait Togo, Togo. Donc, à classe, à quoi, kaka. Le dodo noir. Yam n'a mon papa, y'a un hababo. Le chien de Togo and Benin. Il a English, il y avait un fraternal message. Le chien de Togo and Benin, la minute tu vas m'attendre, et le thème est la minute qui attend. Babia Chomia, political party, aussi, Bawa, Gerardo Mayor, le Doden, et Wado Benami, la minute qui attend. We now have fraternal messages from our political parties who are present here in 5 minutes each. 5 minutes each. It's not going to be a political campaign, so please, 5 minutes each. And we start in this order. The NPP will start, followed by the NDC, and the PNC will follow. The rest I will announce. Divine, Richard Boston, Maker, Elagaba Jebe, Yano, NPP, Dunya Tepe, over Host Central, Ametatia, the NPP party, the NPP party, Honorable Divine.
Obama with the minute standing on the already established protocols. And I bring fraternal greetings from the new patriotic party to the paramount chief, the Agbobo Mafia, Toby Ambeden, 40, and all the chiefs and people of Asogli State. Toby, I am your son. Before I became the MC of Hope, I knocked on your door. You shared with me your visions. And the fundamentals of your vision is togetherness and development.
exactly 2.5 years ago, I laid down my life to bring the needed development that the people of Ho and the constituency at large are yearning for. I have served you in a capacity as MC. I have delivered on my promises I made to you. I am prepared and poised to continue as your next MP and also serve you in that regard. Togo, particularly in Yabroha, Yabroha, in Togo, plenty fafa. Lenium, Father Cholabon come here. Yadong Bebe, Yana, Atomia Bola, Intifafa, Anwai. Before, during, and after the election. Miawane, number one, le ballot party. We don't put the mission on any legicoyame. We don't put the Sioma on any legico yame. Then you don't necessarily pepeme. Yadakona, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, Yadakona, Ivan Bossi, Apevia. But why did you out on your name?
The Municipal Chief Executive Officer. We can divine boss. The Baduna the NPP party. Abawanuka. We are also live on GBC Volta Star Radio. We are live on GBC Volta Star Radio. So you tune in or call your friends to listen to us at home and whatever they may be. And also we are on Facebook, Asogli State page. So thank you very much. Your papa buko hababo to ho afun no jajara ro dai baba yo ma ti kura the minute digital me pedo ya idi the patena message evenia to me no bi NBC Togo aika bubuto mauto ababito americana regional chairman. We now take a personal message from the NBC party to be read by Honorable Malcolm Akavito, Volta Regional Chairman of the party. Now we did your papa who are not the road by your midnight.
Abu Mafia, Toby, after the real Tobio, Bamao, Dumavio, Bafobeta Sicho, Yapa Flag Arena, Lomiapem Godia, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama. Moto Benami, Bemanami, Yaba, Ichetitre. Il est clair, Asogli du corps, on voit y. Madame, il y a un Asogli du corps demain. Dans l'air, tu dois faire le véhicule pour amener. Et que d'autres assassin ou elle au lait. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Obama ni anyabe, mais il y a trop de municipal assembly, Washington Metropolitan Assembly. Obama ni anyabe, etinya pele fudala hopama, mais trop quoi, etinya magada funa a hoto. Obama ni anyabe. Ngoni yi etowo na kaka to brother de bio eyachi ichi akitredo gatan
Alo Wadujia, Mitimami Common Papoke, Danny Seven MPP, PC, Miti Utifafa, Miti Utifafa, Susuke Taban, register, Alo Apota Palen, Quebec Bomila, Miti Bano Pupometo, Alabano Takova, Utifafa, and to come. Ya NDC Towa, Richard the Trader, Utifafanu, Bakoko, a Coco Batunia, Ella went to Bolo, Matiba Mako, Betasi, and not the Toto Toke, Nako Asogli Duko, when we talk about the NDC, we talk about the Ganata, we talk about the Hosen Chata, then we talk about the Asogli, Traditional Center Council. Apena mi apete, Asalo, apena mi.
So we thank Honorable Malto Ababito, the Volta Regional Chairman of the NDC, for message on behalf of the NDC party. We now take a message from Honorable Bernard Mona on behalf of the PNC party. Honorable Bernard Mona.
Yes. What is he saying? The paramount chief the guest of honor, Professor Rincon Watem, Excellencies, the ambassadors and diplomats that are here, political parties presidents, chiefs and people of the Volta region. I am happy to be here in person to join with you on the celebration of your Yam Festival. We appreciate the significant role that Yam plays in our body politic, in particular in feeding our nation. Ever since I came here, I have noted rather sadly that most of the yam within the Asogli state appears to be imported yam. Yes. I want to urge that the Asogli state should ensure that we are able to produce more yam to feed ourselves and now to export in order to generate revenue for our nation. What I want to say, as you are all aware, the Electoral Commission of Ghana is engaged in some theatricals that want to expose its inability to ensure that dissent is allowed in Ghana politics. The PNC and my person are being disqualified from participating in the 2024 elections. I want to assure you that we'll do everything legitimately to ensure that we are back on the ballot so that the people of Ghana will get the president and the leader they want. Having said that, this regime, led by President Nana Akufo-Addo, when I look at your brochure, I come to the conclusion that it appears that we have another Togo Agokoli in our hands. The only way we can save ourselves as a people is to walk backwards away from the MPP and to bring back the PNC so that we can restore hope to the people of Ghana and the people of the Volta region. So on that note, Toby, I will attempt to walk backwards just as the way you did to lead to a safe place. So join us. We can retreat from the MPP and Nana Akufo-Addo so that this nation will be safe of the pollution in our environment and of our water.
We thank Honorable Bernard Mona for his fraternal message. And I want to assure him that we have a lot of young farmers in Asogli. We have a lot of young farmers. The unfortunate thing for us this year is the erratic rainfall pattern we have experienced. That is why we don't see a lot of yams cultivated in our various farms here today. Peter Pena, Abato Bernard Mona. Maybe Mate Jiponiba, Eliko Globe, Mepo, Teo, Yogaya, Vetala Pete, Tomiagoa. Mate Jiponiba, Agledela, the Fiesa, Alola Sobrisa. Look at his young and whenever Chijaja, me came a pan, Payamela. I have a better you can equal. Malulu, you can get to Ababadu and Domania no Papa. Tea, Eleniasi, a table, Eleniasi. Peter Penny. Yeah, the method of Kai care, I tell you, Papa, look, we see. Then, the idea will be blamed. But then, so that we couldn't know. There you do, we see. Yeah, Namon Papa, I tell you, Punami, a lot of Benami minutes. I better Maulom, Tommy, Plucher. But I'll take a short message, fraternal message from our independent parliamentary candidate, Maulom, Tommy, Plucher. None of the Ahway Bukuha, but the Bukuha, what for go added to a Messerica, the piano be a pen for the mayor. Ada Mujaka Villa and Mifila. Can be a phone book for her, but the Buba about woman. Clover Bubo and market.
Azalo. Let me stand on all existing protocols. Nema Ado ways on them, Yapete, Asogli, Tenzan, Deba. Dogbega, Agogo Mefia, Le Asogli Duko, Bechiami, Le Mamaga, Ochiami, O Ase, Wado, Asogli, Duko, Ple, Ofia, Ple, Nonufia, Obete, Gobe. Congratulations to the Asogli State on celebrating this year's Tezan Festival. Miawe le doji, miawe la sadu. Nkonye maulom, komi luche e mecho liha. And I am the independent parliamentary candidate for Ho Central constituency. Your Royal Majesty, Togo Apede, revered chiefs and my fellow citizens of the Asogli State. It is a great honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the Asogli Yam Festival. This festival is not just a celebration of our heritage and the bounty of the land. It is a powerful reminder of the unity and strength that has defined us for generations. Today, we are called to build on the festival by fostering unity across all divisions within the Asogli State. Whether in our communities or our families, our various leadership structures, now more than ever, must unite and stand together. As we celebrate, we must also reflect on the threats facing our future, our people, and we must also reflect on the threats facing our future. One of the gravest dangers to our land and our people is illegal mining activities that are devastating our water bodies and natural resources. We must put an end to Galamsey. A loud and emphatic no must echo from every corner of our land. The destruction of our rivers and farmland by illegal mining must be stopped so that our children and children's children will enjoy the benefits of the land. Just as Ghana needs strong leadership to unite and develop, so does Volta Central. We need leadership that breaks down barriers and builds bridges across party lines. Malcolm Kwame Kluche stand before you as the candidate who will unify us. In my leadership, there will be no discrimination based on political affiliations. I believe that every person's voice matters and that our progress as a community depends on us coming together, not tearing each other apart. The time for divisive politics is over. What we need now is unity, representation, and sustainable development. The three pillars that represent our movement forward. We need leadership that is present, that listens, and that works tirelessly for the good of all our people. We need representation that ensures that every community, every family, and every family is a part of decision making. Most importantly, the future of this constituency lies in the hands of our youth. The youth are the heartbeat of Volta Central, and they must be given the opportunity to serve and to lead. It is time for the young people of our community to take their rightful place in shaping our destiny. As your independent parliamentary candidate, I pledge to create opportunities for the youth to thrive, to be part of the decision-making process, and to drive the change that we need. For your support and your votes in the upcoming elections. Let us seize this moment to create the future we deserve. A future where leadership, representation, and development are for all, not just a few. Together, we can build a stronger, more united, and more prosperous Volta Central constituency. Thank you, and may the spirit of the festival guide us all towards peace and progress. God bless the Asogli States, God bless Volta Central, and God bless Ghana. Dr. Yeye Vado.
Honorable Mono, Kwame Kluche, Zabeto ada kukubewa jelaru zabeto ko jelaru kada nanya no yo tula tuma o jo ba o de tia kule ni ako
Adik kita pengen makan waktu terus, kan orang lagi lagi ya. Si lei come il tuo già bene do la figlia di me la papà.
Samuel Kofi Jamesi short one from His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Awia to be delivered by Honorable Samuel Kofi Jamesi.
Topi apade benaria agogoma tia na asogli toko. Topi au bla amatoka yokata bafia. Yapa guest of honor, Professor Lovia Dome. What's the fear? Yapa Tom. Dr. Mahmoud Bakoma, Papa Mato, Topina, we, Gomasia, Baye, Asadulo, Asa, and Asa, you can be shut the shade of your Guma, the Brunel Tifa family. Ye, Yaba, a shade of your Asabunda, Ye, Asa, what's a rock in your Asa. Ejibo yanane yanyabe December konkeke ko kodaga ejiruga lebe ne bitia apobabe dapatesa na bibliothèque osugo la fisafi ye ejibo yanane yanyabe African church to filatia NPP party
Tigrini party a yetu afi a Jubilee ake me perform Amashamba ikapafia Wabrom Jiruga na Yabanata na Lafia ye manya wo party ye atwafia wo na baba ba Jiruga ama ma Jirugo ta Dr. Baubia economic next year is going to be President of the Republic of Ghana. Jiruga Nabana Butia Ada Takonio, but Takonio, Jiruga Ghana. Oh, but I'm a son. That's a very the parent, the two brother, the Takone, what would you, what's the government of the Republic of Ghana? NDC, parti pas flag I saw the equipment, the whole central to Tepe. Richmond, Adam, Kofi, Kotosu, Asogli Yam, Asogli Yam, Asogli Yam, Asogli Yam, Kotosu, Asogli Yam, yes, Abdullah Safo, what did I do? Safo, what did I do? Then Abato and Kutu Super Safo, what did I do? Guest of honor, Prof. I'm a paper who to a vegetable affair. Yeah. Va Yakume Ekwe Inagapu exactly me. Asagila do Viviet Bereke Le Togbega Togba Pedewi and Eliapes Viva Vala Asaga Dune Gobe Alebede Be Asagite Amo Tieto the Pavo open your back at the bed. The Tomiaga Abere Yakobe Yabinaga Damena Togbe Azan Agachidating Eleke Ule. And yet, I bet Nyape, member of parliament, Benjamin Komla Udua. But we have a sort in the non constituency. Medimada Ape Managlo, Canada Nami. I can play NDC party level central constituency. Let me Kimela bow out. We make a lady girl. That Mega Akena Newton be with the Meganami, Lady Pete, Menabe, Melewa, Torigio, IG. In fact, near Pentomelepia. No go area for any other party. Now the day policy for me, I see all the time. All the voter. See here come here for the feeling NBC back of all the votes in 2 minutes. America Jordan you MP. Richmond. Kofi Adam Kotosu NDC party ya transfer any figures of the who can your way by apparently believe
Togo and Benin earlier Agogumefia of Asogli State. Kabio Kata, all protocol observed. I stand here on the ticket of the NDC, the whole central constituency, to say that after my elections on the 13th of May 2023, I have taken time to profile my constituency. And I want to assure you that the main challenge of this whole central constituency is unemployment for the youth. And I stand here to guarantee that with the next NDC government, where we will be having our victory party on this park, I said by Honorable Jamesi that they made this park, they made it to us to come and celebrate our victory in 2025. We are going to make sure that our youth in West Central, we get work to do. The next NDC government is not going to play with West Central. We promise you the best of all. 7 December, we have NDC. And I want to assure you that we, the NDC, we are not going to take you for granted. With me in front, on the 6th of January 2025, by 7th January 2025, my government me. 7th December, I'm a Sia Menadola NDC. NDC. Now, so that I applaud you, allow police for what to say. They have one employee by your NDC. Going to be able to go on the 7th of December.
So please, I get it, woman. Kaba, little what they do. Après garena Asogli Safo, Bada Buga de Miabete, Damia no Tonire, Asemiato, Kabe, Apade, we and Nadia, Wasadu, Bedasi, Zamiabete. Now we now listen very attentively to the festival of dance to be delivered by Togo And the 14th of that Asogli state. Abu Michael Nufobe, a Robert General Nufobe, or Chobet General Nufobe. I could be on my day. And they don't know. And I know what you do. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. We are worried. I'm going to get on.
Over the Kanya Kakaraka, I'm not having fun. I had got out. Where did I go? Ever you look up, you ready. Then I fight direct to Padre. Young. Ever go by then go getting. Make what a very at our mania. And you may never back. Let me tell you, I tell you. So come on, we do that to I mean, my pen, I play a gaba. When you need to cheer, and to be direct to my two and share a camel. I mean, a kind achi, not to achi, not to the project, don't take achi. I mean, in here, break my property. It was it. Look what I'm. I don't know. I think you're gonna do. You can do. Ever you win it, so global. Take your name or I never want. Ever at Jajibura, about Jaggy, you want me allow. I'm going to do dairy, I'll pick up. Was it like any to go over Yahoo? I beg to mechanic to I believe to preach an apple. No, maybe Jajan apple. No protein apple. You don't make a protein apple. As I do with the capital one. Oh, but who's who Jababu? Who's a copy Jababu? I believe you go to the agreement. I don't mean you can never. You never be we are to Babram by. Yeah, again. I bet you look see. You put a call. I bet you say, I see you. Well, I just say, yeah. About the home. Never anything. You open the go back to go. I bet you don't call me. I bet you go crying. I bet you come to go and property for the time. I bet you can buy you. I bet you never have this. I bet you no more vacation. Say, I bet vacation. I bet the Gawain about the take your good. Munanuva, Menutu. How many years ago to do? Yeah. Don't enjoy one way. Bringing you to the other. If you are going to see my local top, but you are no viewing. I believe. And I'm a Kuma Puchia, you be. Obey you, obey a mechanic ball. Obey the sea body. Then I bought me. Everything. As I go about you. Thank boy, Alberto. You are young, Remedor. Make you come and go on. Baba, look, you know. We are not. There was a joke in we can't go out here. But the problem was zero. In my name, today, go my baby. I've been ready as a Jim and Agubasa. Tobacco, my Jamaja, every year, one people complain of getting a cop. When more carry, come down and you do. Bamboo, I don't know. I can't a teenager. I can't you may change about to I go to my drawing. I go to the calling car. I can't make your back out. We take a bath. May you very well can go. I mean, I can come. About him of you. I do say, you may well. You got to go back. Everybody. Everybody. It's my door. I need to
And the people move there on there. I welcome all of our visitors. This very, very important occasion. I want to thank especially our distinguished guests of all, Professor Frimpong Kwate, a man who truly deserves to be honored. We shall hear more about him later on when he's introduced.
Raise your distance.
I also welcome the representatives of our various political parties who are with us here. And also welcome the former president of the National House of Chiefs, Nana Kwewusi. I welcome all of our chiefs from Togo, along with their and I welcome all other chiefs, particularly those coming from outside of the Volta region. All our chiefs and queens are very much appreciated. And I welcome all ministers and prime ministers of state who are with us, and also all members of parliament and former members of parliament who are with us. Special welcome also to our municipal chief executive, with whom I've had a very good working relationship. And special welcome also to members of the River community who are with us. I welcome also all special invited guests and our friends from the media who have made it possible for our voices to be heard beyond our territory. As we all have told already, we celebrate the Yam Festival mainly as thanksgiving to God and our ancestors for good harvest of yam and during the year. We also use the event as an occasion to strengthen the unity of the also, it's an important event to stop taking and reflection on matters that have happened in our community over the past year. And very importantly also, it's an occasion for us to recommit ourselves to the development of Asogli. Development of Asogli is right here to the chiefs, the queens, and the elders of Asogli. because that is what our compatriots, our citizens, desire from us. For us to be relevant, we have to work together to bring development to people. Development that helps to bring the basic necessities of life, provide jobs for our youth, and also ensure good living standards. But of course, you all agree with me that development is not possible anywhere unless people have freedom, unless there is justice. And that's our choice. For this celebration, let's ensure freedom and justice for all. Freedom and justice are principles that have become imperative in our country, meaning we don't have true freedom and we don't have true justice. I want to share my thoughts with you on this important subject, which I believe is important for our development. My thoughts are inspired by my upbringing and my experiences, and my passion and commitment for the cause of Ghana's development. It is not about politics, but of course, you cannot fail to talk about things that sound political. My word chiefs are not expected to be partisan, and so I've always tried not to be partisan, but to focus on the truth. And that is what I will endeavor today, focusing on matters that I feel have been causes of our underdevelopment, the suffering of our people, these matters that I believe press if we have true freedom and justice in our country. I cannot talk about development without recalling the dreams of our founding fathers. Their dream about a country that is well managed, that is pursuing sincere course of development that benefits the people, provides opportunities for all, and ensures higher living standard for everybody. This dream of our founding fathers has found expression in our national anthem, in our national pledge, in various patriotic songs, and also in our 1992 Constitution, under the directive principles of state policy. The hope of our founding fathers has been inspired partly by the fact that our country, like all other parts of Africa, are very well by nature. We have extensive amounts of food. That means that the world, Africa controls about 6% of the world's arable land, and Ghana has its fair share of that. Africa has about 30% of all of the world's endowment resources. Ghana has its fair share. We have a young and growing population, and for Ghana in particular, we have had a great semblance of peace relative to our neighbors. But the question is, are we enjoying the dividends from all of this? The sad story is that our economy has collapsed and our citizens are suffering. These facts are not in doubt. Our country, even though so well endowed, is very poor and vulnerable to happenings across the world. And we saw it recently when during COVID, we could not provide the solutions that we need without help from abroad. Our country is heavily indebted. The sad part is that we have accumulated so much debt, yet we lack so much, and one wonders where all the money have gone to. We are suffering the effects of high price increases. Inflation is currently very high in our country, fallen somehow because of the massive increases of the past years. Our city has known only one that is depreciation. From a rate of 4 cedis to a dollar about 8 years ago, is now more than 16 cedis to the dollar. It has been an important factor in high inflation and the suffering of the people. Our young compatriots are suffering from joblessness. So many of our graduates cannot get jobs many years after school. The consequences seem suffering. Among others, we can see change among our youth. Many are looking for opportunities to exit our country. We have seen an upsurge in strikes and in demonstrations, all because our citizens are not happy. It is sad that the suicide is also going on. So far this year, 81 Ghanaians, let me say, first half of this year, 81 Ghanaians are recorded to have taken their own lives. Out of 543 who have attempted the same. Compared to the records of last year, when throughout 2023, 48 people killed themselves, compared to 81 first half of this year alone. You can sense the desperation among our people. Another consequence of the state of our economy is lawlessness. We have seen the armed robbery in all corners, even in Rohingya. It's not safe to pass many places. We are aware of lynchings of innocent people. More recently, I think last week, a young prison officer who, on suspicion of being a thief, was lynched in Kasua. Last year, we heard about the killing of a young student from Kitasco. And this year, a young student was killed at O'Reilly Secondary School. These are all the results of suffering, of poverty, and of consequential lawlessness. But we don't deserve this as a country. As I said, we are so well endowed by nature. And even more importantly for me, my young and growing population, and generally very peace-loving people. I believe that we owe our peace to the patience of Ghanaians. Their patience is what has allowed our fourth republic to survive. I am very worried for our country because we find ourselves in a very difficult situation. Leaders are very honest and committed to the principles of real leaders everywhere are committed to the principles of truth, transparency, justice, and the rule of law. But in our country, these principles are generally bastardized in pursuit of partisan political desires. So many times we hear a lot of lies being told. And so now it becomes very difficult for us to know what is true and what is not true. Many of the times also, we find out that people who do the good things or say the right things are vilified instead of praised. I've been a victim of this myself recently when I returned monies paid to me as ex gratia that I thought was not deserved. The lies were told. Unfortunately, with the complicity of the Council of State itself, the impression was given that Togo was an absentee member of the council, a council in which I played very, very active role. Of course, I've asked my lawyers to invoke the Right to Information Act and obtain the relevant original data to debunk all those lies that have been told. As I said, we are suffering from a lot of lawlessness and indiscipline. And those also are part of the causes of our problems. Investors do not see themselves welcomed, except to areas where the law works and where there is discipline. Again, real leaders are committed to uniting the people. But here in our country, and tribalized. Everything is tribalized and politicized. We recall pronouncements that were made recently in connection with the tidal waves that have devastated our brothers of Southern Volta. Very, very, very tribalistic and partisan. The lack of respect for the truth, lawlessness, and politicization have become fertile grounds for greed and corruption, which I believe have been the biggest obstacle to our development. Yes, they've been the biggest, but what we have seen today with regards to greed and corruption, generally mind-boggling. While real leaders are focused on development, others have been focused on property ownership. They have replaced our colonial masters in a reckless scramble for the national resources that belong to all of us. Our democracy has become an enterprise that benefits a few. Ghana has become like an orphan child raped by the very people who have obtained our mandate to take care of her. As I've always said, corrupt officials are like termites at the woodwork, eating at the very foundations of our development. Many of our political office seekers, unfortunately, are wolves in sheepskin who crave for power as a means to their own selfish ends. But I believe that by the grace of the good Lord, we shall recognize the bad ones in their disguise. Our country is full of scandals. We are aware of it. It's so incredible that for a little country, almost every day there is something new. From the PDS scandal involving the Corporation of Ghana, the Ameris scandal, and the very bad scandal surrounding the National Cathedral project, to judgment debts that we don't deserve to pay, and the list goes on. And it's sad to hear recently that even public servants who are well paid, very well to do, are taking scholarships that should be going to the poor. These kind of things cannot be tolerated in any serious country. Where is the justice when the rich go for what is intended for the poor? And where is the freedom when most people are afraid to talk about these matters? There are many instances of government monies being deposited by public officials in private banks for kickbacks. And these same government monies are invariably owned into government by these institutions who invest in treasury bills. These are matters that deserve to be corrected if our country is to make progress. Also, very recently, we heard about this story of Ajepadie. Quite worrying because it talks about an alleged fraud by a few people to own the bulk of what belongs to the state, while trying to undermine other Ghanaians who also deserve opportunities that this country has to offer. Many of the people who do the wrong things against us go to church and occupy the front rows and yet steal our money. Again, by the good grace of God, we should be able to recognize all of these people in their disguise. One of the most troubling things in our country today is the destruction of our lands by through Galamsey, the destruction of our rivers. I've read that more than 100,000 acres of cocoa farmland have been destroyed. What is worrying is that it will take a lot of the state's resources to reclaim those lands. Estimates suggest that it will cost about $52,000 US to reclaim an acre of degraded land that has been excavated to the depth of only 900 millimeters. That's 3 feet. $52,000 to reclaim 1 acre of degraded land, which means that for 100,000 acres of farmland alone, cocoa farmland alone, the state will be requiring in excess of $5 billion US for reclamation. After a few have dug recklessly our land in search of gold and enriching themselves at the expense of the state. It's a burden that we, all citizens of this country, would have to bear. Our taxpayers would have to pay to ensure that lands that have been criminally degraded are reclaimed. It is very sad because everywhere in the world, we recognize the importance of our land resources, and in particular water, which many of us know is vital to life. Without, we can't have plants growing. Without water, there will not be animal life. And without water, we cannot have human settlements. Water is so important, and that is why at Yale University, there is a course on drinking water. But we have decided to pollute our rivers. I am grateful that so far we haven't seen any polluted rivers in our region. But that is not necessarily a matter to celebrate, because our lives as a people are inextricably linked. And many of the waters that are polluted may find their way into the Volta River, and we all become victims of the pollution. Sometimes I wonder why there are no leaders, elders in our country. How can we allow this to continue? As a Ghana will say, Sayo, Sayo, Onupapeja, no. If there are elders, we shouldn't sit down and watch the degradation of our lands. Very, very perplexing indeed. I want to talk about politicization of everything, even including Nkrumah's legacy, politicized recently. But there's no question in my mind that Nkrumah was the founder of our country. I was at the Ivory Coast Embassy recently when they were celebrating the independence anniversary, and they talked very proudly about Hufepoini as the founding father of Ivory Coast. That is what Nkrumah also is to us. And Nkrumah Ghana achieved so much that must inspire us. We have so many factories, and we excel in sports. But recently, the Ghana team returned from the Olympics empty-handed. These are reasons why we should miss Nkrumah. These are reasons we need leaders who have the leadership qualities, and the passion of Kwame Nkrumah. We also have seen a lot of waste in our country, reckless management of our economy. That cannot happen if there is justice, if there is freedom. Instead of focusing on developing our country, as I've said, many of our leaders pursue their selfish desires in what has become known as create, loot, and share. We've seen a lot of reckless borrowing and reckless spending. In 2021, during the visit of Honorable Speaker of Parliament to Ho, when I had a chance to speak to him, I suggested that Ghana would have filed for bankruptcy if it were a company. But indeed, that's what happened a year later in 2022 when we defaulted on our debts. We have seen bad policies both in the fiscal and the monetary. I can't go into details about those. But recently, we all became aware of Bank of Ghana putting up a head office building in which they are investing $250 million of our money, 0.35% of our GDP. That should not have been happening in a serious country. And this is a company that also rewards its staff phenomenally while they are unable to achieve the price stability that we want and the stability of the financial markets. That is their mandate. At Bank of Ghana in 2023, the average employee cost the bank over 73,000 Ghana cedis per month, not a year. So you can see the unfairness and therefore the lack of justice in our country. Recently, we heard about importation of $34 million or so worth of spare parts to back the $59 million worth of ambulances. I don't know how many of us buy brand new cars and invest so much in spare parts in advance, but this is happening in our country. Very sad indeed. I also read about $35 million investment in a Commander Sugar Factory being considered for renting at $1 million per year. These certainly are not good decisions for our country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, many of these things are possible because our institutions that should protect our democracy, that should ensure freedoms and also ensure justice, have become bastardized. The judiciary is bastardized, Council of State, the National House of Chiefs have all become without weapons virtually. And so has become our military and our police service. These certainly are not very conducive conditions for the maintenance of freedoms and justice, which are the focus of our Yam Festival celebration this year. We have a crisis of leadership. Our leaders have become what I call the poor man's boogeyman. We seem to be afraid of them because we can't talk about the bad things that they do. They have been divisive and they have exploited our democracy and our abhorrence of course. To perpetuate bad governance on our people. Unfortunately, again, all these things are supported by a constitution that is bad, a constitution that has outlived its usefulness, a constitution that has concentrated powers in one person, and that is not good for our country. Our distinguished speaker, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed in a crisis, and all of these things that I've talked about are threats to our peace and stability. But as a slave to optimism, I believe we can turn all of these things around. But to require a new agenda led by a new kind of leadership. Leadership that believes in the directive principles of state policy, which requires that the state manages the economy to ensure rapid development, to ensure citizens have the best of life, to ensure all of us opportunity, and to ensure the happiness of all of us. That kind of leadership upholds the principles of honesty, fairness, humility, and is trustworthy. We need a kind of leader for a vibrant, prosperous, and well-governed country. And of course, it will require a change in our constitution to reduce the constitutional power. It also requires the change in our attitudes, because the government that we have is always a reflection of our attitudes. If we all begin to avoid all of these bad things, corruption, greed, and etc., we can kill corruption before it kills us. So our next government has a challenge, and it's important need to reverse all of the negative trends. As we go into elections this year, we should all bear that in mind. We need development, and that should be our guide as we exercise our franchise. But I want to call upon the EC to ensure that we have conditions that will allow for free and fair elections. Conditions that would ensure that the people's mandate is respected. The people's choice is respected. So we can continue to enjoy the peace that has made us relatively unique in West Africa and Africa at large. I want to call our people, especially the youth, to come together so we can defend the cause of freedom and justice. It will require that we all see the next elections as a defining moment, as a question of the future of our country and nothing else. And that should guide us in all of our conduct. Let's accept that we need each other as we progress as one people, one country. Let's be fearless, as our anthem requires, in defense of honesty, in defense of freedom, and defense of justice. Let's insist that our leaders must be our servants and not our lords. And let's recognize the pretenders in their disguise until a fatal blow to them on election day. It is time for us all to come together and rescue the orphan called Ghana. May the good Lord cause our plight and show us the way towards redemption. Thank you all for coming, and thanks for your support of the Asogli Yam Festival. Thank you. Thank you.
Mama Bobi, Toliasi, the one day, Yama Mekopeto Heika Purania, Afiabi. We now have the introduction of the special guest of honor for the day.
With the permission of Togo And Benin, the 14th, and his queen mother, I would like to stand on the existing.
Did a long time.
I would like to stand on the existing protocol in my short duty here. Today's guest of honor is in the person of Professor Fabnas Frimpong. He graduated from the University of Ghana Medical School in 1975, where he won the Eastman Prize in Surgery after housemanship at Polibu. Vascular surgeon. He subsequently worked as a consultant cardiothoracic surgeon and was one of the pioneers of the heart transplantation program in Hanover, where he also taught both undergraduates and postgraduates cardiothoracic and vascular surgery. He performed the first of scores of heart transplantations in 1985. At the time, he was recognized worldwide as the first Black person to have performed a heart transplant. He performed the first heart-lung transplant in Germany in November 1988. Professor Frimpong returned home, Ghana, in 1989 to establish the National Cardiothoracic Center and the Ghana Heart Foundation. He joined the University of Ghana Medical School in the year 2000 and was promoted to an associate professor of surgery in the same year and subsequently to a full professor in 2002. Professor Frimpong has headed several institutions in the country. He has received several awards, including the Companion of the Order of the Volta in 2006. Professor Frimpong was the winner of the 2012 edition of the prestigious African Heroes Award, presented by Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, USA, on the 12th of February 2012. He was the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation of Ghana from February 2017 to February 2021. His report on illegal mining in Ghana has become a reference document in the fight against the menace in Ghana, what we call Galamsey. Professor Frimpong also writes, so he's written to you. And so on the 11th of June 2024, the National Cardiothoracic Center at the Polibu Teaching Hospital unveiled a bust of Professor Frimpong in honor of the renowned heart surgeon and founder of the center at the launch of its 35th anniversary celebration. Fabio, Mamao, our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Professor Frimpong, our special guest for today.
February 14th, Fabio, Mamao, Nananum, ministers of state, members of parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, members of council of state, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first say that I'm hearing the address of Togo for the first time I didn't know what he was going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say. So if there are any similarities, it's by accident. Mamaga, the second. Anytime I see your name and I see you, it reminds me of my father's elder sister, who was called Akuyade. I wish to thank Togo for the 40, the chiefs and the people of Asogli State for inviting me to be the guest of honor of such grand occasion. And Asogli, many a time I have sat down in my quiet moments and reflected on the plight of this potentially beautiful and prosperous country called Ghana. When I consider that as citizens, we are not able to meet our basic necessities of life, including food, water, housing, clothing, health, and security, I begin to wonder who cares about the welfare of Ghana. When I reflect on the teeming graduate and youth unemployment, coupled with an apparent lack of hope for these young ones, I ask myself, who cares about Ghana? When I consider the monumental environmental degradation and pollution of forests, farmlands, and water bodies, loss of biodiversity, the filth and the total disregard for sanitation, including food handling and security and safety, again I ask myself, who cares about Ghana? When I consider the increasing degeneration of traditional values and customs in discipline and the more or less institutionalized corruption with no serious attempt being made to fight it, again I ask myself, who cares about Ghana? There is widespread loss of faith in our major institutions, such as the political system, law enforcement, and religious bodies. This again makes me question, who cares about Ghana? In a recent interaction I had with a group of university students, 95% of them told me if they had the opportunity, they would rather study, live, and work in another country. If Ghana is doing so well, as some politicians claim, why are those who are supposed to shape the future of this country abandoning ship? Who cares about the future of Ghana? Despite the intelligence of our people and the abundant resources in our possession, we have devalued ourselves to the extent that we think only foreigners can help us out of our miseries. And so we depend upon foreign partners for almost 100% of our development budget and 80% of inputs into agriculture, education, and health. Who really cares about Ghana? It is often said that the quality of life of any society depends on the quality of the leaders. Just as a person cannot function without a brain, so a society cannot function without good leaders. Where is the creative and visionary leadership that is supposed to help us out of this misery? Who really cares about the future of Ghana? I ask myself. The political class has funded the trust and confidence for the people of Ghana over the years through misgovernment and corruption, to the extent that leaders are no longer trusted. The citizens, especially the young people, are confused and cannot visualize their stake in the country's development and its future. For far too long, we have entrusted our lives into the hands of political leaders who don't seem to have answers to the challenges confronting us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked with the trust and confidence of the people. That is the greatest asset of this country. But still, the panel of Ghana have recognized some institutions of state to intimidate and silence transformative voices while allowing patronized corruption to flourish. Who really cares about the future of Ghana? An antagonistic spirit has possessed political opponents who continually knock the heads of unsuspecting Ghanaians and allowing the political elite to enrich themselves, their families, and friends, while the general population continues to wallow in poverty and despair. Who cares about Ghana? Our leaders have not been able to invoke in us a spirit of nation building, and consequently, people do not see any virtue in working for the future of our own country. Who cares about Ghana? Most Ghanaians feel that they have sacrificed enough without any improvement in their lives. There's general realization that their sacrifices are taken for granted by the political elite. Who really cares about Ghana? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my observation that the full leadership with no vision of a formidable future plan resolves to amassing wealth for themselves, their families, friends, and associates at the expense of seeking to improve the life of the population. In order not to be left out, some well-connected citizens and foreigners who have absolutely no stake in the future of the country join in the looting, and the net effect is a country on its knees. Who cares about Ghana? Our ancestral heritage requires us to stand erect, proud, unafraid, and to enjoy the benefits of our creation, culture, land, and resources has been wiped off. Our very existence is marked by poverty, disease, environmental degradation, ignorance, and hopelessness. The freedom and dignity painfully won at independence have been eroded. Now we kneel before the development partners for handouts without which our budgets cannot be followed. Who really cares about Ghana? The sad thing about this debacle is instead of owning up to our shortcomings and finding solutions, we most of the time attribute our shameful poverty to colonialism and exploitation. Who cares about Ghana? We have developed attitudinal inertia marked by loss of self-confidence, self-worth, and initiative, and a total dependence on other nations and international financial institutions. We have not improved with the times and are still reliant on subsistence agriculture and rudimentary methods of survival. Most of the factories built at independence have been sold off or left to rot. Where are the factories that once produce tomatoes, sugar, rice, ties, processed meat, shoes, cocoa sacks, gas, matches, radio sets, and TV sets, and many more? We still rely on cultivating and exporting primary produce, which are processed in foreign lands, sent back to us, and sold to us at prices we cannot afford. We have thus denied ourselves of economic power to lead healthy, fulfilling, and enjoyable lives, and are dying in the midst of plenty. Who really cares about Ghana? And above all, We have thrown good character and accountability to the wind, and instead consider money as the only form of success and respect. We do not demand good character and accountability from our leaders when in and out of office, resulting in a continuous mess and plunder of state assets, funds, and resources. I must say that character matters, and society must place premium on enduring character traits such as honesty, truthfulness, fairness, courtesy, and dependability. The question still rings in my mind: who cares about Ghana? In certain societies, there are local men and women who may not come from the same ethnic group or be members of the same political party. They may have different educational backgrounds and professions, but still manage to build a good leadership structure for their citizens. What these people have in common is love for their country, and they will do everything to make sure that the country is governed properly and national assets, most especially the human capital, are well managed for the benefits of the present and future generations. If Ghana had owners, they would not look all unconcerned as education, health, agriculture, economic, law enforcement, sanitation, environmental, and other socio-economic systems tumble. As Ghanaians, we should be worried that our communal spirit has disappeared. And generally, citizens have become self-centered, selfish, and no longer care about our communal welfare. If I may ask, where are the leaders of this country who are supposed to give good advice, consult the foresight, and provide positive influence on high political leadership? I wish, as a scientist, as a doctor, as a teacher, I could stand here and talk about science, technology, programmable knowledge control, automation, and so on. Talk about machines that we can design to process dairy, palm oil, cassava, and others automatically. I wish I could talk about research and development, artificial intelligence, and robotics. I wish I could talk about job and work creation. I wish I could talk about empowering the universities and research institutions to become centers of incubation of businesses. I wish I could go to Professor Lydia Ediato, our beloved Vice Chancellor, and discuss health issues such as kidney disease, kidney transplantation, heart transplantation, and minimal invasive procedures to help people. But I cannot, because these are not the issues confronting Ghanaians. Ghanaians are thinking about bread and butter issues. They are thinking about basic things: water, health, accommodation, and housing, and eating at least one good meal a day. These are the bread and butter issues confronting Ghanaians. So, for God's sake, who cares about Ghana? Who cares about its future? In all the rest, there are some distinguished personalities who have been instrumental and are making strides in the background by creating jobs and businesses for the good of the country and its economy. One such personality is no other than His Royal Highness the Agogo Mepia of the Asogli State, Fegbe Afede IV. Over the years, Fegbe has been working hard to create wealth for Ghana. just consider activities he has engaged in and others he continues to do, all in an attempt to make Ghana a better place to live, invest, and work. These achievements include being board member of the World Trade Center Association, chairman of the World Trade Center Accra, chairman of Pioneer Kitchenware Limited, chairman of Accra House of Work, co-chairman of Africa World Airlines, chairman of Sunon Asogli Power, and chairman of Strategic African Securities, and so on. I could go on and on talking about Togo Afede's considerable, benevolent, and charitable works, including Asogli Educational Fund and Asogli Medical Fund. In all these undertakings, Togo applies the solid principles enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. These are dignity, freedom, and justice for all. Togo believes in the inherent worth and value of every human being, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, or any other characteristic. He believes in freedom and justice for every individual, meaning the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint by any government or human authority. For this reason, I admire the American Declaration of Independence, a portion of which all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted amongst men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the government. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. Unquote. Therefore, what he's saying is that governments are therefore established to secure the lives of its citizens, preserve their liberties, and create conditions that will allow the citizens to pursue their activities in peace and prosperity. Any government, or for that matter, any political tradition that becomes destructive of these principles should be changed by the people as it fulfills the right of governance. I wish to call on our President of the Republic to heed the call of citizens, civil society organizations, professional, academic, research institutions, and trade unions to bring an end to the destruction of our forests, farmlands, water bodies, and associated biodiversity. The very existence and future of Ghana are at stake. And Mr. President, I know you care. There's one thing I know very well, I want you to note. That disobedience and destruction of nature will not be endured for too long. Soon, the holy and righteous God of nature, who rules over all creation in the universe, will destroy those who violate his creation. I would like to call on all political groupings, especially the ruling party, to ensure that the general elections in December this year will be free and fair, without any attempt by any group to subvert the integrity of the electoral process and its results. Our citizens should also be wise and avoid destructive behaviors and violence during the election. I pray that whichever political party wins will prioritize job creation, protection of the public health, and the restoration of the environment in this power. Thank you, Togo the 14th, of Asogli State, to our chiefs and elders for giving me this opportunity to grace the festival today. God bless you.
Professor Frimpong want to the open assuming the colony. And like a cover, we do one open move. America, Bato, Amro, Chopeta, Bagno, Yanoville, and not because the Penania. When Mamaga, Blewo, Shiako, and Nelia, Fiaga, Chopeta. Tabe, Gau, Pesa, Mama, Beusu, Bevelia, Mama, Flashy, Doshi, Bevelia, Agotadwa, Nomanu, Mlapa, Flashami, Yao, Niable, Owanyam, Potato, Betavano, Young Novi, and not because the enemy, the exit, so one of the young. I'm going to have a Gasina. I'm over a woman that over street. Be lots of hope, and I think the torture also let me out to me. We are live on B4 TV on Facebook, B4 TV on Facebook, Volta Serene, so the state page, the Facebook. Nuna de Cabo, you can have me for you. You have a few auto a vaccine. Open una city a aton. I'm not the top council. Una mean city a fair aton. Play whiskey at the fire top. Independent power generators. Una mean city a fair. PNC presidential candidate Honorable Benabimona. And Nabi city a fair. Water, one may black, aton, a clear shinap, one may play. It's a figure in the Penina Geiger, Namika. The came in one of the hour. The family called you can do first. A clam is full and you will find. Hey, I know the year. You can when my mother call your O2 City Bar. O2 City Bar. Power rap party. DJ Black. Egbefiani. When I get on the before when Jain sit the woman. Jain Gawo. And I'm looking at you are at what you of Mira Lefia. Why the rap by the O2 City Bar. A chocolate. Wow, fufu special. But go special. Plan to go. Hey, what they're going to show bigger with the kid. I thought I called for Slami, the different need to find. Hey, I know the head general, Henry House, Fanwell, Modi, and the people that may be at the one. While I get from my daughter to go open my mouth for me. Here, Biacho, Mamaga, Yebu, the Belia, American, Pepper Fiaga, see the Papa, about the Pennicata, the Edgar, Pawanaota. Mamaga able the second to move the boat of tax. I came Mama Qua, I got the people just a part of the baby to settle. Let me never make a baby over the let me have a day, never make a pair of the Doduma. Over the way the top way, but the weird Nelia permit. But chances, Vermont, the Vega, or to Coconut, all our special guests on the days and all our special guests under the canopies, please, you go to Togo And Benin resident for your reception before you leave. All our special invited guests, please make sure you go to Togo and Benin's residence for your reception before you leave. Those under the canopy and all our invited guests on the days, please report to Togo and Benin's house. Thank you very much. Mama is coming over now to give the blue thanks. And the people there, Chamio, and so come up here, and I bet you buy. Government's house is from the Chances Road on the road, from coming from the next 10 is Chances Junction. The next 10 is Chances Junction. When you are going from here, after the regional police headquarters, the nearest 10 again, you will be Chances Junction. So please, that is why the reception is taking place. Thank you. Mama, be able to give a lot of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Special guest of honor, Professor members of the diplomatic corps, members of the Council of State, representatives of the Speaker of Parliament, all our flag bearers of the various political parties, members of state, NMPCs, our chiefs and brothers from Togo, all our invited chiefs, members of the clergy, the media, all protocol observed. I'm glad to give the vote of thanks for this important and momentous occasion. All too soon, this year's Yam Festival has come to a successful end. Indeed, it has left a deliberate mark in the annals of our traditional area. My foremost thanks to the Almighty God for his protection and gift of life. You would all agree with me that the weather has been good. And we have all lived to witness this beautiful and colorful day. God has been faithful, and we thank him for that. The next time go to Togo and Benin before say, Agogomefia of Asogli Yam, our chiefs and queens for their hard work. Irrespective of all the challenges, Togo and his team have stood resilient to bring all citizens back home, to fraternize and for the development of the Volta region. Indeed, Togo and Benin, we appreciate your excellent leadership. Need not be overemphasized. We thank you. God bless you. Our honorable special guest of honor, you are not left out. It is dedicated, devoted personality to honor special invitation, and you are one of them. Prof, thank you for coming. If I have to mention individual names, we will not live here. So I will classify some of the dignitaries in order to be snappy. Members of the Council of State, representatives of the Speaker of Parliament, all our flag bearers of the various political parties, ministers of state, NMPCs, thanks for your time, efforts, donations, and support. You left all you have to do to be here to grace this day. All we can say is that God should replenish your lost effort, He should grace you and grant you all your heart desires. Then to our chiefs and brothers from Togo and all who traveled far and near, we say we love you. We are surely Togo and Benin that we have heard this message and we are inspired to work together for the well-being of our citizens. The security services media, rest from various banks, the organizers of our adorable Yam Festival. Your work is the most difficult one. Aliko, we watch with admiration, with keen interest, how you move from one end to ensure safety discipline. Your work is highly appreciated, and not forgetting our holy MC Tony for his hard work. Wow, we should be awarded. Finally, to all our cultural troops, our dancers, heads of institutions, and all institutions, schools, and everybody who contributed in one way or the other to make this year's Yam Festival another memorable one. Adore, when you hear the pop group, is the people of Asogli Volta region saying, God bless you all. To your various destinations. May God protect us all until we meet next year here. Long live Asogli, long live Volta, long live Ghana. Thank you.
All our dignitaries on the day and under the canopy, please you go to Togo And Benin's residence for the reception. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to know that the government of the copy of parts of Kabak leader. Parts of Kabak leader. But we have one now. I took an amount of copy of the support and the Yamabia to further the brings Mensa see the we now have the closing prayer and benediction from Reverend Father Prince Mensa.
Let us pray. Amen. Almighty and ever-living God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather here as your people. We thank you for the life of our chiefs and our queens and the people of Asogli State. Lord, from the beginning we call you to be in our midst. And as we are living here, we are not living in your presence. We pray that your presence will go with us, continue to strengthen us, and continue to grant Ghana peace. The Almighty God bless us all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.